Hey everybody, Zeidoktor here with Typical Manga Fan, and this episode of the Typical Manga Review is dedicated to Attack on Titan, Chapter 80, The Unknown Soldiers. And we pretty much pick up where we left off. Aaron is slowly is... I thought he's regaining consciousness because his eyes are open, but nope, he's still out.
So they're like, Erwin and Aaron are like, crap, basically.
Yeah.
Like, he must have been flung up there, essentially.
Yeah, and
And
on the next
then,
page shows Mikasa, like, oh shit.
yeah, John is like, yeah, that was kind of reckless.
Yeah.
But, Aaron can, I like Aaron, okay? But why does shonen heroes have to be so stupid all the time? They have to be always head first.
Yeah.
Is that like a thing? Why is that?
Well, I think it's because
Like,
shonen...
you have a smart one once?
Well, I think there's occasional ones out there. I mean, but bear in mind that one of the intelligent shonen heroes we have is Light Yagami.
I know. I was like thinking him, but it's not. But he's not really. He's a protagonist, but he's not really a hero.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, where's... Well, actually, no. If you want, Deku from My Hero Academia is like he's intelligent. He'll still leap in charge and this stuff, but that's just because he's got a bad case of chronic hero syndrome.
Yeah, that's the thing. The hero syndromes. Can we just not have one who follows that? I mean, anyone.
Mhm.
And don't. I'm thinking not pick out like one of the small mangas, but I mean like the big mangas always have that. And is there a reason why people like that in
I
Japan at least?
I think it's just like a kind of like a hero cliche, like he's the go getter. I don't know.
I mean, Luffy does it in a very fun way, but I mean, there's only one Luffy, you know.
You know.
Anyway, so
And yeah, moving along here. Um, like pretty much everybody is like feeling the darkest hour pressure. Because, yeah, charging into him was reckless. We went straight for him without a plan. Of course, Aaron's going to end up like that. We can figure out a way to turn the tables. Unless we can figure out a way to turn the tables, this reclamation plan, our lives, and humanity's future is all going to come to an end. But that doesn't mean we're just going to sit here and be slaughtered. Let's attack that thing with no plan, recklessly.
well, I mean, they do have plans. He said they don't know about the Thunder Spears yet, so he doesn't know about the Thunder Spears yet.
Right, because
So,
that was all done on Berthold. Rainer. Sorry, I mixed him up again.
so Connie, Sasha, and John will distract him while Mikasa will try to hit them with the spears, which makes sense because she's she's the strongest
Yeah.
one. So give her the most responsibility in that sense. So they try to distract him, and so he goes for it, and then Mikasa comes right behind him, but then he uses the steam to back her off.
Yep.
And she kind of gets burned too.
Yep. And apparently he's also able to deflect the Thunder Spears in the process.
Yeah.
And the reason he gets burned because they explode next to her.
Yeah. So now they're basically. So she landed next to Armin, and she's like, "Well, you got a plan?" And he's like, "No."
Yeah. Also, Connie breathed in some of the steam, so he's taking some damage.
Yeah, everyone's taking damage. Steam is hot. Steam is
Yes.
hot. Let's see what else here. So the Beast Titan's still attacking.
And just to
And
make
that-
matters worse, the Armor Titan is back on his feet.
Oh yeah, that too. I totally just missed that. Yeah. Armor Titan's back on his feet, and Beast Titan's attacking. So basically, they have a lot of shit to take care of. Erwin and Levi are currently talking and saying, "Look, there's not really much for us to do anymore. We have to retreat." Aaron's basically out
Well,
there and
What
gone.
Levy actually says is, if you tell me there's no way left for us to fight back, I'll start
Oh
preparing
yeah,
for defeat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So basically, but in the end, they are basically prepared to lose.
Yeah, and then
Uh,
the newbie soldiers are kind of already there because like one's getting mad because the other one let a horse escape, but they're like, what's the point even anymore now?
oh yeah. I mean, these guys are not as built
Yeah.
as Levi mentally, but he said, look, it made sense if humanity stayed up in the walls, we'd someday be eaten up by Titans who appeared out of nowhere.
It made so much
And-
sense on the recruiting poster.
It does. And they said, look, they knew that they said it, that people had to sacrifice themselves, but it kind of like they didn't when they actually are going through it. It's like I didn't expect to actually feel this way. And I never imagined that this could all be so meaningless. And if this is what happens to nearly all of us who die, what did I ever think that it'd be different for me? And basically, Levi says like, yeah, the recruits, and the survivors and hunting squads can scatter on horses at once and try to head home. What do you think of that? And and he says they can act as a bait, and you and the others will escape. It's talking to Erwin,
Yep.
and Levi is also planning to attack the Beast Titan and lead him away. Erwin disagrees, says, "Look, you can't even get close to him. What's the point of that?" And
Probably not, but
yeah, probably not. But if you and Aaron make it back alive, there's still hope.
Isn't that where we're at right now?
Yeah,
this is
we're
a
basically
major
at defeat. Yeah, we're basically at defeat. So it's basically damage control, right? Let's see. So Erwin has a plan.
But yeah. Do you have a way to fight back? Yeah. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Why didn't you put that stupid face of yours to work sooner and say something?
Because this plan will sacrifice the lives of all the crews here as well as mine.
Yep.
Ouch. So basically, yeah, most of us was going to die, no matter what. But that means the only plan is to come up with assume that we're prepared to die in battle here from the start. And when we do that, we have to ask these young men and women to give up their lives.
And you
need the skills of a first mate command. So basically, he's gonna charismatically lead them into the suicidal charge, basically.
Yep.
I mean, this actually goes back to the moral problems that Erwin has been associated with, where he's always been very like, what was it like? Ends justify the means type of thing.
Right.
So I mean, just to kind of like alleviate it, he is gonna put himself in there along with them. So he is. It's not like he's out in there just hiding for his life, He is gonna be part of this suicidal charge.
And he's also kind of lamenting the fact that he wanted to see what was in that basement.
Yeah, this is actually a very sad thing. Where there are people who die who will never know what happens later in the story. I mean, us readers take that for granted. Where the hero, the guy who sacrifices his life, doesn't always get to see the ending, so he doesn't even know. And it's kind of unfortunate. He gets pretty sad about that. He's like, everything I did to now was to culminate to this day, and this is what basically made me pull through. And this is a dream that I share with my father. But now, all I have to do now is just reach out and grab those answers. They're right there. But Levi,
he could go after them himself right now if he wanted to, but at this point, with all the soldiers all the comrades that they've lost along the way kind of standing behind him, he just can't do that. And
you actually see everyone behind him. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the drawing and the anime style is a little different, so I can't recognize everyone. And if there's anyone actually that...
For me, it's just been too long to really know anybody. If there's anyone here we should be taking note of.
I think the guy on the left side, maybe. I don't know what. Anyway, so our comrades are watching us. They know what the King of the Hearts they devoted. Their battles have yet to come to an end. So he's going to basically carry on their legacy and motivations.
Yep.
At
this point, actually, kind of sad but cool in a way. It's like Levi kneels down before him. You fought a good fight. You've been able to come this far thanks to you. I'm making the choice. Give up on your dreams and die for us. Lead the recruits straight into hell. I'll take out the Bestial Titan.
So basically, he's going to take the choice off of of Erwin's shoulders. And make it seem as if he's ordering Erwin to do it.
Yep.
So basically, the Ape's like, and then, oh my gosh, this is pretty awesome. Erwin leads the charge. You can see him charging, and he's like, "Well, I didn't think it would end without a fight, but it's a suicide charge. I expected them to have a little more." And then everyone shoots at the Ape Titan and with smoke, and they use those as signals. I see, and then so. He's coming closer, and then we have a flashback to when Erwin basically tells him, like, "Look, I will now announce our final operation." I'm not going to skip any of this because this is too awesome. All soldiers, line up. All units present will now perform a mounted charge. Our enemy is the Bestial Titan. Obviously, this will make us a perfect target for the enemy. We will wait for the enemy to begin throwing rocks, then all fire signal flares at once. We'll do everything we can to reduce the accuracy of those rocks to whatever extent possible. While we act as a diversion, Captain Levi will go to kill the Bestial Titan. That is all. And everyone's like, "What?"
And then Levi himself is...
Levi's like, "What?"
Yeah. You want me to approach the beast by myself using vertical maneuvering. There's nothing around him. There isn't a single tree or house or anything else I can use. No, you have targets that are perfect. You have targets that are the perfect height. And they're all standing in there in a row, aren't they?
Yep. So he's going to use the Titans to actually speak up on the beast side.
Yeah.
So it's actually kind of interesting how they're doing that. It's very tactical. So as you can see, everyone being told that you're going to die is to their faces. It's kind of like making them throw up. And they're just like, "Well, why? Well, I mean, it was Ern who said, or Levi who said that."
It looks like there's just someone in the crowd. Or no, it might be. I don't know
Levi,
which one of them it
Levi.
is, but it's like,
Is it Levi?
I,
Oh, Irwin.
yeah.
Oh, it's Irwin who said that, I think, because you can see his mouth moving. Okay, he says standing around here simply means waiting for a rocks to come rain down on us. So now Herb again, so it is Irwin saying that. So everyone's just kind of like frozen, and the guy asks, "Are we about to die?" And then Irwin's just like, "Yep." Um, so they basically talk about death and stuff, saying like, "If we're gonna die, we might as well die fighting." Yep. I like he's just like, "Yep, that's right. That's absolutely right."
It's like I was kind of like this one. It's like, if we're going to die anyway, we can die however we want. We could even die while disobeying orders, but it won't make a difference.
Yep.
That's absolutely right. It doesn't make a single difference, no matter what dreams or hopes you may have, no matter what kind of blissful life you've lived until now. What happens to your body when it gets crushed by a rock is the same. Everybody dies sooner or later.
And then it goes about is life meaningless? You know, does it matter the fact does the fact that you were ever born meaningless from the start? And then he says, would you say the same to your dead comrades whose lives that their lives have been meaningless? And he's like, no, they weren't. It's us who give meaning to those soldiers, those brave fallen men and women, those poor fallen men and women. The only ones who can think of them are us, the living. We will die here and entrust our own meaning to the next generation of the living. That is the sole way we can oppose this cruel world. And I love it. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. Soldiers, let your blood boil. Soldiers, let me hear your voices. Soldiers, let us fight. Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Yeah, listen, if and when the anime gets to this point, it will be very cool. Like you can see, like Erwin's just like frenzied right in there.
I know. I never actually cared if Erwin died, but now that he did the speech, you can see his heart just coming out, just showing his passion, showing his dedication to humanity, and charging with as everyone's like dying around him, and knowing he will die too. It's just, oh my gosh, like he really cares. He soldiers let us fight. Let me hear your voices. He really cares, and my gosh, man, this is actually making me kind of not want him to die.
Yeah.
Good job. What's Ishikawa? Yeah, there's the name.
Yeah.
Good. Is the other name Hajime?
Isayama.
Oh,
Isayama.
Isayama. Okay, my bad. Say it again.
Hajime Isayama. It's on page 2.
Okay, Hajime Ishiyama. Okay, I got the Hajime part there right there.
Well, page 3, if you to be exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So he was able to really get emotion out of these last speech.
Yeah, that was a very good, like, rousing speech for sure.
Yeah. Normally I try to skip words, just mouthing, saying, reading the words.
I like to read, but I skip all the words.
Yeah, but with this one, sorry.
I like to read, but only when I can skip all the words.
Well, I try to summarize everything.
Well, yeah, you mean because you were reading the actual speech verbatim? Yeah.
Yeah, because I try to summarize everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But because people can read on their own. So, but this is a speech that needs to be said correctly and as much as possible, word by word. And this is. Yeah, I mean the horse is dead. Like the horse just got shot, so he's basically on his, and actually he got shot a bit too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think his horse got shot too. That's what you just said.
No, that's what I said. His horse got shot.
Yeah. But
through the head, so the horse is dead. And you can see the legs.
Yeah, I was about to say there. Yeah.
So he's basically like on his last edges. I mean, this is pretty cool. I mean, suicide's never cool, but if it has to happen like this, then yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, if you're gonna die no matter what, then go out the way you want. And go out fighting.
Yeah. Who's gonna die too? You know who's part of that group? Remember one of the guys who was like really who was like helped part of like the girl and the guy is like, I'm gonna join the Survey Corps. Remember him?
I don't think I know the part you mean, but I don't remember the actual person.
Remember the guy? He was part of the military police, and he was actually one of the actually helped out the Corps, even though he got captured.
Oh, okay, one of those guys.
Yeah, right, he was actually part of that group, so he actually might die, which actually is kind of sad because he had a girl who liked him back in the military police, and she actually like criticized him for joining the Survey Corps, saying like, oh, but he's like, I want to make a difference, so he's basically gonna die, and it seems like she's gonna be, she's probably gonna hear the news sometime soon, so it's gonna be hella sad.
I wonder if Lovey will actually be able to get to him and actually finish the fight off.
Yeah, maybe they might actually still be survivors even from the suicide charge.
Yeah, I mean that would be likely. Depends on a lot of that may depend on just how quickly Levy can take him out, and also what the Mook Titans will do once he does so.
Yeah.
Things promise to get pretty crazy in the next chapter or two. That's for damn sure. Well, crazier, I should say. Like I said, it's like I wonder if this will be the thing that turns around the Darkest Hour, despite the fact that there's a suicide charge.
Well, it's not like they're all gonna die, right?
You know, like if they actually beat the Beast Titan first, what'll that do to Berthold and Reiner?
Maybe Hans might come out. Please, please.
We can hope.
But yeah, I mean, well, right now we also have to have Mikasa and her group being worried about the Armor Titan and the Cloud Titan.
Yeah. That's kind of like that was kind of what I was wondering about. Like, if they beat the Beast Titan first, will that make them retreat or stand down?
Well, he's a leader, right? So, but the thing, okay, so I'm reading the comments, and the comments say that they believe the Cloud Titan is way too OP. I actually have to disagree. His entire point is just to be his strength, and and to break the walls, right? And
He's there to be humongous.
He's there just to solely be huge. So he seems OP, but that's because the only reason why Eren got kicked out is because he's an idiot who just charged head first. You don't do that. To the biggest guys, even in real life, you don't charge against them like that. You know, the Cloud Titan has shown that he's kind of slow, and remember he has to use steam to protect himself, right? Because he can't actually reach back there. He's too slow. So we could use that against him somehow.
Yeah.
That's actually I actually think he's the weakest. In terms of overall, not strength obviously, but overall fighting power.
Yeah.
Because Annie is the strongest, Berthold's in the middle, and not Berthold, Reiner, the Armor Titan's in the middle, and Berthold, the Cloud Titan's in the back. Because again, he's all strength, but stability, maneuverability, and speed, they're not there. He's just to be big.
Yeah.
He seems OP, but only if you take it at face value.
Right. Of course, given the size of his face, it's hard not to. But that's a lot of value right there. You gotta admit.
Yeah. Go have your fun.
Yeah. But I can agree with your assessment there. Like, where does I wonder where the Beast Titan fits in there. Like, do you put him? I would put him.
Beast Titan is above all of them.
Okay.
Because he's and actually there's a ranking system. The ranking, like they talked about the stats. His ranking is he has an 11 out of 10 for intelligence.
Yeah, I mean I've seen that before.
So he's smart. He's bigger. He's bigger than I think even the Armor Titan, and he's just fat. You can see, and he's smarter. So he's the strongest of all of them.
Yep.
And it makes sense. He's like the chief or something. They call him chief.
War chief.
War chief. So of course he would be the strongest. It makes sense. So yeah, but that's why I don't think the Beast Titan thing will work. Or at least if it works, he'll survive. I will say though, a lot of people mentioned that they believe that they disagree with me about the Cloud Titan and the Armor Titan's dying. But they also point out that they think that the Cloud Titan and the Armor Titan will join up with the good guys. I don't think that. There's no reason for them to.
I don't think so either. But at the same time, if the Beast Titan gets beaten down first in some way, that could create kind of a wild card situation.
Well, they'll if they help out the heroes, it'll be because it's gonna be begrudgingly. It's gonna be because they have no choice. They're not gonna help them out because they believe in their cause or whatever, you know. Because again, isn't Bolton's whole thing that he has to make a resolve, and his resolve is to kill everyone? Mm-hmm. So again, character development for him.
Yeah.
Sometimes unfortunately, you're on both sides. It's not even about who's good and evil. It's he's on the other side, and sometimes you can't change that. And again, a lot of times I feel like with these characters, if we learn a lot about them, we're gonna learn about them after they die, because what else is there can we do? Annie, I mean, we know about Annie. Annie is that's the thing. I think maybe Annie's story is gonna continue and that's why she's not in this fight. She's captured. She's in the crystal. But with Berthold and Reiner, I mean, I don't see what they can do after this arc.
Yeah.
What is their goal? Like, to introduce the Titan Village? I mean, that the War Chief can do that. The ape Zeke, I think his name was.
Yeah, Zeke.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the interactions, the era of the Colossal and the Arm Titan is coming to an end because again, it feels like we're going to move on to a new stage, and these guys are like the final obstacles for the old stage, because they were the first big the special Titans to see that we got in the series, right? So them dying if anything would allow us to take the next step into the new arc, the new stage of the manga. That's why I think they're gonna die, because I feel like their deaths would allow us to take that next step, to go into the unknown. They are the
Yeah.
they are the door the gatekeepers. They are the door.
Yeah, the another term for that is what might be threshold guardian.
Special guardian. Yeah.
It's like there's like a whole big thing about like how literary journeys work for heroes. They're like
Yeah.
the threshold guardians. Not always like a big actual enemy like this, but they're the ones who guard the gateway into like the bigger world out there.
Yeah. So them dying would be that case.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And fighting them again. This is such a big fight that fighting them again just doesn't. I don't think it would compare.
Not really. The only one I can possibly see that maybe being a case with would be Zeke.
Yeah,
Dep-
Zeke can see more. Same with Annie. Just with Ryder and Bertold, I don't see it.
Yeah, I think they've kind of gone through it here. Like, I think there's enough room for it right now that I think it could go either way. But yeah, I don't really see them getting too far off beyond this fight.
I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying I see them more likely dying than than them surviving.
Yeah.
And if anything, it would actually help to see how the families would react to their deaths when if Aaron and his group ever visits the village.
Oh, you mean like Reiner Bertel's death? Yeah.
Yeah, if you know when we find out they died, we'll see how the family's reaction will be and see like, well, you killed us, our son, or whatever. And then I feel like it actually would be more effective if you find out how their deaths affect the village.
Right. Like what was their importance to that village and all that.
Yeah, I feel like you can explore their roles in the village after they die, to see how what's going to see how the village reacts to the change and all that stuff. So it would make sense.
True.
There's a lot you can do with that. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're good to go here for this month's Attack on Titan. There, like I said, it's a very intense chapter, so I'm very eager to see what comes up next month here on this. But in the meantime, that has been the typical manga reviews episode of Attack on Titan, chapter 80. But before we sign out, we're going to take things to a bit of a happier note, and just like we've been doing in all our videos this week, remind everybody of the Skip Beat Kickstarter for the English release of the anime to get an anime dub for Skip Beat. Like I said, right now it's Saturday, the was it the 9th?
Yeah.
9th, yep. It's going until the 16th, so that's this next coming Saturday.
16th at 8:58 p.m. So early on Saturday, April 16th.
Okay, yeah.
So basically,
is that 8:58 Eastern time, Pacific time? What is it?
Pacific time.
Okay. And then yeah. So like I said, this video will come out on the 12th. So between now and then, there'll still be about another 4 or 5 days to get a donation in there if you want to support that project.
Yeah.
Yep.
And any help would be greatly appreciated. Even $1 can make the difference. You know, this is basically a do or die situation because shoujo anime doesn't usually do. They haven't gotten much of a chance because there's a perceived notion that they don't do well because of history. I think it's time to change that because we've given the animes. You know, I think anime can grow a lot more, and shoujo and shonen anime has gotten a lot of love. So I feel like shoujo anime deserves some attention as well.
Yep. And I'll admit,
again, if
oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say
if this Kickstarter doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I'll wait for you to finish.
Okay. If Kickstarter doesn't work, then basically that's it because this is the only chance. This all the companies are watching how this does, you know, before making the decision. So.
Yep. I would say like as far as skipping in particular, I'm only vaguely familiar with it, but then like I said, from what I've been seeing from the Kickstarter itself and just from your mentioning of it and just what I've been seeing around, it sounds like it looks like it'll be a fun series if and when it gets released. And even I'm gonna try and start catching up with the manga myself a little bit, kind of get a feel for it.
The sub version is on Crunchyroll, and but that's only the sub.
Yeah.
If you want a DVD release though, it has to have a dub because that is the requirement that the company wants.
Yeah.
And Japanese company wants. And I do know that if you ever put any faith into ratings, 96% of the 14,000 plus ratings on Crunchyroll are 5-out stars, and it's considered on the My Anime list to be ranked number 205, which is in the top 0.02% of all anime series ever, which is really, really high.
I did not realize it was quite that high, but yeah.
Anime News Network gave it a grade A, so that's the thing. So it's basically critically acclaimed, basically.
Yeah. And viewer acclaim too. Got all the 5-star reviews. Yeah. Right. So, but in any case, like I said, that's been our review of Attack on Titan. Our plug for the Skip Beat. Go ahead and take us away.
Bye.